In the book of Kings, chapter 4, we learn of a story of famine in the land. We need to admit as a nation that there is a famine in the land. There is moral decadence, a famine in the land. There is economic poverty, a famine in the land. There is political complacency, a famine in the land. People are no longer active in the spaces of thinking. We are losing our young people. Jails are full. Prisons and hospitals are full. Graveyards are full of young people who are walking around like headless chickens. The political leaders are engrossed in economic beneficiation for themselves and their better partners, whereas the economy and the people are languishing in poverty. Young people are resorting to crime. Sex has become an entertainment. In the midst of this, in the backdrop of that, we have teenage pregnancies, the spreading of HIV. Instead of dealing with moral decadence, we're in the business of distributing condoms. It's not only about condoms, we're addressing conduct. The nation, when it is dying at this level, how can we sit around and spend more money on buying weapons and buying guns, protecting our seas, when the very essence of our economy is being eroded away? Young people are not the future. They are the present. For if they are destroyed in the present, there is no future that we are anticipating for them. The Bible tells us there was a famine in the land in the book of Kings. In a similar fashion, we have a famine in the land. A famine of education, a famine of spiritual leadership, a famine of knowledge, a famine of integrity. In the midst of this famine, the Bible then tells us one young man went out into the bush. When he went into the bush, he was looking for vegetables. Is it not pathetic that when there is such a famine, our young people are now scattering and looking around the bushes, looking for substances and food to feed themselves? But in the midst of their immaturity, the Bible says he collected herbs, did not even know which herbs to collect. So it is clear, in the midst of collecting herbs, he collected poisonous herbs. Came home with poisonous herbs, put them in the pots, and cooked poison. Is that not the state of our nation today? Young people, in the midst of looking for things to make life and ends meet for themselves, they have started collecting even foreign vegetation, foreign plants, foreign herbs, which are now in their pots. Foreign habits, foreign images, foreign examples, foreign idols, foreign things to us. Hollywood and New York have become the emblems of their dreams. They've forgotten where they are. These are poisonous herbs that are in the pots. The pot was cooked. Take note. Whether we are aware of it or not, the pots are cooking. Whether ANC is working or not, pots are cooking. Whether DA is aware of it, pots are cooking. ACDP, pots are cooking. NP, pots are cooking. The youth of our nation in South Africa are cooking foreign herbs, and these herbs are getting cooked. Take note, when every pot is cooked, the food must be delivered. People started eating, and then a loud cry was heard. Death in the pot. Death in the pot. There is a funeral in the pots. And I wish we can address this very clearly in this our generation, that there is death in the pots where the young people are cooking. Death in the sex lives. Death in their beverages and drinking lives. Death in the massage parlors. Death in the education room. Death in the prison wards. We are burying people in as much as they are still walking on the streets. Some of them are dead already. There is death in the pot. But in the midst of every death, God has not left us despondent. There is good news. Consult with the prophet of the Lord. Elisha walks into the scene with medication, goes into the bush, collects another herb. I like that part there. When he puts the other herb into the other herbs, he treats the pot to make sure there was a conducive soup and residue that people could eat and be fed for the day. There is a solution we need to find. We need to go back where the young people are. Find the correct herbs which we can use to correct the poison that is in the pots. We cannot allow our children to become adults when they are still young. We cannot allow our children to get their future vandalized when they are still young. Let young people be young people. Let children be children. And let adults do their job of finding correct herbs and correct the pots that we are dealing with. There is death in the pot. May our youth, may our politics, may our education be in the business of looking and finding better herbs to treat this poisonous pot.